Hello and welcome to another episode of Richard's Comics. On today's episode, in addition to going through the new books that I got, I'd like to introduce my daughter Viola, a special guest, and she's going to tell us about her book, Ham Helsing. Viola?
So, there was this sea monster.
In the Ham Helsing book?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was like kidnapping the kids. But they thought the monster was trying to eat the kids, but the monster was actually trying to protect them.
Oh, okay.
So,
Anything else you'd like to tell us about Ham Helsing? It's a graphic novel.
so it's kind of a little bit of warness, but
Mm-hmm.
not too much.
Okay. So you really like that. It's a really good story, and there's other books in the series, right?
Yes, I have another one, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, what happens in the other Ham Helsing?
And that's the first Ham Helsing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Is there anything that Ham Helsing appeals to you as a child? What do you like about Ham Helsing?
that there's a little pig,
Mm-hmm.
and when he was a little kid, he grew up to be a man.
Okay.
His father did not survive.
Oh, okay. But he doesn't just hunt monsters though, too. He also finds out the monsters are misunderstood. So it's a little deeper than the typical Van Helsing going after Dracula. This Ham Helsing
Yeah.
uses more methods than that.
Yeah, so after this
Mm-hmm.
after that book, it has been really good in this one.
Okay. It looks like you're about done with that one too.
Well, almost finished.
Almost finished. Okay. Any last things you'd like to talk about Ham Helsing?
Ham Helsing is a kid book.
Okay. Well, good. Well, Viola, thank you for bringing Ham Helsing today. Any other last words you'd like to talk about?
It is a very good book, and it is my favorite book.
Oh, good. Well, thank you very much for coming on today, Viola. We appreciate you sharing Ham Helsing with us. And as you heard from Viola, it's a good all-children's book. It is not a typical Monster Hunter book. Recommend you check it out. It's definitely appropriate for all ages. Thank you, Viola.
I will be leaving.
So Viola's heading out. We'll set up for the next shot here. Okay. So let's start with some back issues that I recently got. Amazing Spider-Man number 155 continues my quest to fill in my back issues for Amazing Spider-Man. This is Giant Size Spider-Man number 2. Next book, Guardians of the Galaxy number 25. This is not the Guardians of the Galaxy from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the one that's actually came out in the late 80s, early 90s. This is kind of Marvel's response to DC's Legion of Superheroes. It's a pretty good book. As you can see, it's a really good Galactus cover, foil cover. I've not read this issue yet, but looking forward to opening it up and seeing what's inside. Next book, Silver Surfer number 13. Good picture of Ronin and Surfer going at it. Next book, Silver Surfer number 110 from that same run. Thing about Silver Surfer, it gets harder to find them once you get up above issue about 110. It went up to 146 issues, and the last issues are a little harder to track down. Next book, Toxic Avenger number 1, based on the popular movie that came out in the early 80s. This book's jumped up a little bit in price, so I wanted to go ahead and snag this when I found it for a good price. Next up, this is not a comic, this is DC Connect. Those familiar, it basically previews the upcoming DC comics for the next few months going into the new year. And of course, Marvel has one, Marvel Free Preview, also giving you a glimpse into the future storylines coming out from Marvel. Okay, so that's the main back issues we have. Let's look at some new books. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 13, Legacy number 907. This continues the Hobgoblin storyline. Next book, Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 1 by Mark Silvestri. Next book, Batman and Superman, World's Finest, number 9. Very solid story. If you like Silver Age comics, that period in history, this is kind of a nice revisit of that time period. It's set kind of in the modern day, maybe before current DC continuity a little bit, but it's written more in a style of a time gone past. Next book, Batman vs. Robin, number 3. This actually ties into the previous series, Batman and Superman World's Finest. This is going to be leading into the planet Lazarus, or Lazarus Planet, that's coming up in the new year. And then the current event going on, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 6. One more issue to go on this one. Next book, Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, number 4. Next book, The Death of Superman, number 1, the 30th anniversary. I know I'm starting to feel old when they have a 30th anniversary of a story I remember coming out. Next book, spinning out of the pages of the current Amazing Spider-Man, is Gold Goblin, starring Norman Osborn. We're really not quite sure if he has abandoned his criminal ways or if he actually is trying to turn over a new leaf. Next book, Gunslinger Spawn, number 14. Definitely check out the Spawn books. They're all very well written. And they're $2.99 to boot, so they're a good deal as well. Spawn, $3.35. And Spider-Man number 2, written by Dan Slott, drawn by Mark Bagley, continues the End of the Spider-Verse storyline. This has been good so far. I'm really looking forward to see where this goes. Next book, Star Wars, The High Republic number 2. This is actually volume 2. It is a prequel to the previous volume of High Republic. Okay, next, we have the Trick or Read. It is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man number 88 from the previous volume. I guess there wasn't really a Halloween comic fest this year, kind of a free comic book day, and so Marvel did their own event with a Trick or Read. There was a few books from here. Next up, Trick or Read, reprint of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 1. This is an all ages title, this next one, Spidey and His Amazing Friends. It actually has a mask of Spider-Man that you can punch out off the back cover if you wanted to. Last couple books. Trick or Read, Doctor Strange. Got Kid Dormammu on the cover. Really nice cover here. And the last book, Venom number 13, Legacy 213. I'll be honest, this is a very confusing title. I had to go back and reread the last couple issues to remember even what was going on and trying to understand it. It's a confusing storyline. The art's very good with Brian Hitch, but I really think they need to wrap this up and get to more traditional Venom stories. Okay, well that's all the books today. Appreciate my daughter Viola being our special guest today, and appreciate your all's time watching the Comic Haul, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.